I have been here all god and you haven't let me say one thing. None of you.
Well, damn, Mitch,
Oh, no. Now, it's my turn to talk. I mean you. Change your tampon and have another drink. And you. You know what? You're too easy. Why aren't you in jail? I mean, what are you, like 13, 14?
She's almost 18.
You know what? This. You all suck. I quit. You are the biggest piece of shit in this entire restaurant.
Me? What the f did I do to you, man? Seriously.
Hello, it's just Alex. And originally I was not going to do a video about this, but as time went on, I noticed everybody's kind of talking about the same thing, and I feel like I can offer a different, maybe perspective on the situation. So let's dig right into it. This past week, the Commander Rules Committee has banned Fast Mana, as they're calling it, because they wanted to limit the explosive starts in a game of Commander. Also, they banned Nadu, but honestly, who cares? So in this ban, they banned Mana Crypt, Dockside Extortionist, and Jeweled Lotus. Now, in this video, I don't actually want to dissect the bans, albeit I do overall disagree with them. To show my position, I only own one Mana Crypt and I only own one Dockside, so I have no financial position in it. But from a financial standpoint, the only thing that really bothers me is that this decision possibly inadvertently affects an LGS that's already struggling to keep their head above water. Time after time, LGSs are constantly undercut by distribution, which is in turn undercut by WotC, Wizards of the Coast. So a shop that's already struggling doesn't need help struggling. From a play standpoint, I feel like the committee and the format itself has already been dictated how it's going to be played in a somewhat contradictory way. Now, that's not to say that there aren't cards on the ban list that, don't deserve to be banned, because there are cards on there that deserve to be banned. But if the committee was dead set on this decision, and it seems like with reports that we've been getting over the course of the week that maybe they weren't so dead set on it, the message could have been delivered in a more palatable fashion, that being, take your medicine with a teaspoon of sugar. So what could they have done? Well, with the overall power creep and evolution of Commander as a format, the ban list has been in need of some dire revisions for years now. The committee could have stated, yes, we want to limit your explosive starts. We don't want to get rid of them. But with that limitation, we want to maybe remove some limitations and open up player options for cards that were once banned that maybe shouldn't be banned now with the overall power creep. So where does that take us? What's our first spoonful of sugar, let's say? Biorhythm. It's widely popular and accepted by everything that I've seen and read that Biorhythm has no business being on the ban list. It's a large drop card. It really only gains you life, and if you're gaining infinite life because you have infinite tokens, let's say, you've won the game anyway. What does it matter? Another card that is pretty widely agreed should not be on the ban list anymore is Coalition Victory. Coalition Victory is a very heavy drop of a card, and it wins you the game, sure. If it resolves, does it win you the game? If you've met all those criteria on that sorcery, which is a land of every type, a creature of every color, and then you have to pay 7 or 8 on top of it, I think if you've done that at that late in the game, because let's be honest, this is a card that's not being cast until mid-late game. If you win with that, okay, you win. Let's start a new game. Ways to end a game are important, and games that sometimes drag on for 3 or 4 hours may not be the best thing. Now, those are 2 obvious revisions that are long overdue. So that's not really the sugar. That was your first hit. So what is the big hit of sugar? Panoptic Mirror. Follow me on this. Panoptic Mirror. It opens up options for every color, for every deck. Everybody gets use out of it, and it opens up your player options. Can you imprint some crazy ramp spell that you're going to be casting every upkeep? Are you going to get multiple treasures every upkeep? Sure, you can do that. Broken things are a possibility, but when you do that, the other players at the table are probably not going to let it stick around, or at the worst, not let you stick around. So, Panoptic Mirror can be broken, but so can many other things in this format. And with opening player options and reducing the limitations, you can make for some really interesting games and maybe some really broken games, but you already have that. So where's the harm really when you think about it? That also leads me into Iona, Shield of Emeria. Iona originally was put on the ban list, as was stated to us, that they didn't want the feel-bads of Commander. Well, I already feel bad in Commander sometimes when I'm playing against an Urza and he has stasis on the field and, you know, maybe 10 other stacks pieces, or I'm playing against an Orzhov stacks, you know, with ghostly prisons and telling me I can't do things, but if I want to do them, they cost more mana. Iona being the fat CMC drop that she is and limiting people from playing one color of a spell, I could understand maybe back in the day why it was banned, but in present day, with all of these people, especially the new stacks pieces that have been printed for stacks players, I mean, Iona is kind of like not enemy number one anymore on that list. So for me, from a player's perspective, my fast mana may now be starting to be limited, and my explosive starts maybe aren't so explosive, but my options for average mid to late game have opened up. Where does the real hit of endorphins come from now? Grizzlebrand. Grizzlebrand, yes. I know, I can feel you looking at me already. Grizzlebrand is a powerful creature, but he is also a heavy CMC drop creature, much like Iona. Now, even in a mono black deck, can you get that out quick? Sure, sometimes you can, if you have that explosive start. But as a creature, what does Grizzlebrand do? He flies, and he hits you in the face for a lot of damage. But the real thing is that you pay the 7 life, you draw the 7 cards. We all know that that ability is why Grizzlebrand was dictated as a problem. But in this format, even if you're a mono black player, so many tools have been printed in recent history to help you get over that hump of drawing cards by paying life, that Grizzlebrand, I do feel like, is still very powerful. Don't get me wrong, but he's also very popular. Now, are we unbanning Grizzlebrand just because he's popular? No, we're not. But in a format where you can abuse cards like Ad Nauseam, Necropotence, or Limdul's Vault even, now Grizzlebrand's ability does stack up better inherently than theirs. But we wanted to be opening up player options, especially in the average to late game. So with Grizzlebrand being unbanned, I feel like you make a lot more players open to that loss of the explosive start. With Grizzlebrand being unbanned, with Iona being unbanned, with Biorhythm and Coalition Victory and Panoptic Mirror, you're opening up all these options for players. And this last change that I'm going to bring up is only because it's a pet card. I love it. Gifts Ungiven. Does it tutor up a possible win combo? Sure. Can you cast it early, mid to late game? Sure. But I love it and I want it back. And that's really it. I don't really care what you have to say about it. I want Gifts Ungiven back. I love the art on it. It's a great card. Unban it. Would these changes have made every player happy? No. It's impossible, and you're never going to make every player happy. However, when you accompany this announcement with some changes that open up creativity and loosen some constraints that maybe don't need to be there, it makes the hit easier to take. I mean, sure, it doesn't make the hit easier for that LGS that's losing money, but as a format, I think it would help keep you a little bit healthier. Is 6 unbans a lot? Sure. But let's be honest, 2 of those unbans, like I said, are pretty widely accepted that they shouldn't be there anyway. And let's not forget, the foundation of this format is the creativity of the player. This wasn't a manufactured format. It was organically grown over time, and later on it was acknowledged. So now that there have been all these tools made in game development for players to deal with all sorts of different scenarios, you can really start to free the creative shackles that have been placed over the course of time. And I feel like that in itself is kind of a comfort to a player who sees this initial ban announcement as, you know, hard to take. Teaspoon of sugar helps the medicine go down. And really, that's just my ramble. And, you know, if you agree, if you disagree, let me know. You could leave a comment. I'm here to read them. Don't forget to engage in the video, please. The algorithm needs to be fed, and so does my family.
This is fast. Me and my friends, we're gonna find you. We're bitch. If I want to play 11 man, I'm gonna play. Everybody else is gone. It's just me. Alone with my thoughts again. Darkness falls across the land. The midnight hour. How do I always end up alone?